Yeah.
I need one of those, man.
All right. Oh.
Stay rolling on this, 'cause I need to get this workout.
What up? This is L.O.X.
Yes, sir.
Jadakiss. How you doing? Sheik Louch.
Yep.
Me, Styles P. And you want the history of L.O.X? Here it go. Boom. As young youth, single digits, they lived together. Kiss started rapping, put Sheik on the rapping. They was dope at it. Whole town heard about them. I knew about them. Yada, yada, yada. I lived on the other side. South side.
South side.
Boom. I met them around junior high time. Boom. Now junior high's over. It's high school time. We went to Charles E. Gorton. Wolfpack, yeah. Now, when we in Gorton, we formed the Bomb Squad. You know what I mean? We formed the Bomb Squad because besides being street rappers, these two are fucking excellent in the studio. They know how to format songs, hooks, verses. They got sessions lined up. They know the time they go into the session. So it's lit. So now we the Bomb Squad. Doing the Bomb Squad thing, we in school. I got a job at Odd Job, so I stole tapes.
Facts.
I stole a lot of tapes.
Truckload.
Facts.
A lot of tapes. Then we made that tape. We made songs, doing on there, sold the tape
For $15.
$15 a piece. Whole
Killed
town know about us. We was popping. We was going around. We was lit.
After that, we started making more songs in high school. We elevated our game. We hooked up with these dudes from our from Whitney Young Projects, where our grandmothers moved to, called the Mushmen.
The Mushmen, shout out to them too right now. We have no bad blood or none of that kind of stuff. Rest in peace, Mark.
They was able to elevate our recording process as far as getting different production.
Yeah, they knew about Funky Slice
They knew
Studios
about.
and all
They
that.
knew about. They knew a little more about the game
D&D.
than we did. So they did help us a little. Just the contract that we signed with them, the production deal wasn't right. So then we needed Rough Riders to get us out of that deal.
That's when we realized that people were shady in this game. That's when I first seen it. You know, when some money was given and it didn't make it back to us.
We got it after that, right?
Nah, we wound up settling out with them niggas. They ain't give us our bread. We wound up like pressing them niggas and then you know, like that's it. you would have like, yo, dog, no, you would have spazzed.
I definitely probably was fast. At the time, like I remember actually with DNY, I remember Luch and Kiss hitting me like, I think I called you collect from the county. Mm-hmm. And he was like, man, when you get home, shit's gonna change.
Absolutely.
Be rhyming, make sure you working.
Remember that?
And you just, cause I didn't know DNY at the time. And when they was working with Mushman, like I tried to explain earlier in the story, they was pretty much out of all of the rappers in the area doing professional shit. So as you were saying, even the conversion, it wasn't a mixtape, because even the mixtape game wasn't a mixtape.
Word.
So we was pretty much just doing independent promotion of the songs they were making and finding a way to blast it. So it wasn't even more so a mixtape. It was really more like, this is the work and this is what we selling and this is what out here, because the New York City mixtape scene was probably only popular for the DJs more so. So I remember I couldn't rhyme on a mic for shit, like, you know what I mean? I couldn't get like that shit was totally different from being outside and rhyming with them. And they was good at both, and like a lot of people couldn't convert, and that shit was like torture. I mean, this guy, and at that time it was real. It wasn't even fucking,
real machine,
it wasn't digital, it wasn't Pro Tools, so you got the real, they piecing it together, you fucked up, that part of the reel's going, they gotta figure it out. So they come in with their shit intact, their verses intact, the hooks intact, they know how to lay right, so I think it wasn't even like no mixtape shit, I think they was destined to be professional, like, you know what I mean, just a level up from what all of the rest of the town was doing. All of the rest of all the towns was doing. Yonkers didn't have shit at the time. They was young fellas taking it on their back, not just fucking rhyming on the corners, but saying, all right, we're gonna make songs, we're gonna make a movement, and we're gonna do that. So it wasn't even no mixtape shit, it was more like some movement shit.
Bad Boys on fire, Puff was doing his thing, and then the parties and all that kind of, that's when we, you know, everybody was clubbing and going out, and you see the picket signs and the big Bad Boy signs. It was a big movement. He had a movement for real, for real.
It's like nobody on our town was on, then we got drafted to the best team.
Absolutely.
How could we not be amazed?
Word.
You know what I mean?
With Puff on it with the Bad Boy.
The first
Bad
song
Boy.
we recorded with Big was a song called You'll See
Word.
that Puff later used for a Bad Boy sampler that also had the Benjamins and a couple other songs. Remember they took us to that Total video in Central Park? It was freezing. And we ain't really, we just said
you.
what's up to
No,
Can't You See?
Can't You See?
Yeah, I think we just said, what's up? We didn't chop
we
it
just
up.
was able, it was too cold. They were shooting a video.
Yeah.
Then
He was cool then.
yeah, it was cool.
See? Yeah.
Don't get it misconstrued.
That's them 3-day
We
videos and all that.
appreciated being on Bad Boy and
Hell
enjoyed our time while we was there. And we learned a lot
Platinum
of shit.
and all that.
I think it was amazing when we rhymed in front of them and the response we got from them.
In the studio.
In the studio.
Alright, that's kind of
That's our first like meeting him and interacting with him.
Word.
And I just remember him going, man, y'all fucking rhyme. Y'all guys rhyme. And I always stuck to him, man. He was glad that
Glad y'all with me, dude.
Yeah, glad y'all here, man. And that shit was, that was amazing because he didn't have to be that way. So, like I said, we coming from Yonkers, nobody on the town's on. We make it to Bad Boy and we meet Big and his open arms and all love. And not just from Big, like just from his whole crew.
The whole crew. I always
Like, you
say
know what I
that.
mean? Nobody acting funny, no weird vibes. So it was just kind of like a immediate connection and understanding. I think Big's a big student in craft and loves craftsmanship and MC, so, I think he just dug our style. All three of us, we always had work ethic and always work hard, but with that work ethic bumping into Puff and his work ethic and his business minded, we learned a lot of shit from Bad Boys.
Absolutely.
You can't say a lot of groups from era that, sitting here today, still relevant, still looking great, still working hard.
That's 'cause
still
they didn't
mess
learn
with the
shit.
youth, still mess with
We
our
learned.
peers, still, so we, we've made our own foundation and lane in this thing, so I would never regret. I don't look back at it, I don't regret it. Like Kid said, we fucking thankful. You know how much shit
Facts.
we learned off of Puff? That could have been another record label and we could be fucking in the dust right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That shit is a fucking coined term in hip hop.
Word.
Money, power, respect. We invented that. You can hear it from South rappers, the young rappers, the old rappers, to anybody.
Yeah.
If they fucking said money, power, respect, that's because they got it off of us. I think that album is not loved as much as We Are the Streets because We Are the Streets is pretty much us taking us in our own hands, and you would have heard that. We Are the Streets is the album we probably would have made if we was making the first album. But I love Money, Power, Respect. I think that's a beautiful, dope album. I don't think it's underrated. I think We Are the Streets just, people champion it more for the time that it came out and the things that was happening.
And the cause.
Like, you know what I mean? It was like a going to
Rebelness.
war album.
Yeah.
Every other artist almost, and no knock to our label mates ever that was on Bad Boy, when we wasn't with Puff, we found a way to survive. We fucking killed the New York City mixtape circuit scene. We stood alive. We were shelved but not shelved. We were shelved industry-wise but took over the streets. So that's knowing work ethic.
Facts.
Our voice was able to get spread everywhere and be heard, and everybody became a part of it.
During that time, I think the transition, I think we learned from enough from DNY and enough from Puff and enough from ourselves to start figuring out shit on our own. Then we started looking and depending on us three and what we thought first before it even gets to DNY and Puff and the label and such and such. We'll weigh it out with each other. Like the Let the Locks Go campaign was us three sitting there building, saying, all right, we can't beat them with the lawyers, we can't do this, we can't do that. And at the time, DNY couldn't actually go to war the same way we could because they had too much shit going on. So it was more like, here's what the fuck we gonna do, and we thought about it, we did it. They supported us with it. They thought it was smart, but it was more so of us coming into our own. Like when you're in the music industry and you do enough shit and you got enough background and you got enough rapport with your brothers, you start talking with them and start thinking of what you could do better and figuring out what y'all could do better together. So I think we was learning enough on our own from just being around D, Y, Bad Boy, Rough Riders, everybody period, just seeing the game, just even being in the game.
I just kept getting called in for certain
They
shit.
just had a lot of songs and a lot of sessions, and they'll call you for ones they want you to get on, and Sometimes we'll be in there making a song, they'll take that for that.
Yeah.
Powerhouse was a work lab. You gotta understand, it'd be us three in there, it'd be X. A lot of people don't know Murder Mace. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Bunch of producers.
A bunch of producers, bunch of other rappers. Y'all don't know, so it was
Young Swiss.
words. PK, Grease. So it was just a vibe. You always was working. So it wasn't like, yo, we making Rough Rider Volume 1. Nobody was on that time. We get up every
songs,
day.
And we just go there every day and work.
And you just
And we make work. We make songs every day, and all we know is we kill shit. That's it. I think people often forget that we're the LOX, but we went from the LOX to DBlock. Having our own shit and having an idea that. So that 16-year gap was of you hearing other artists we were trying to work with, put out opening stores, establish other revenues, other areas, do things different digitally. So we looked at it as long as we breaking bread together, as long as we chilling and doing what we gotta do is what it is.
Not to toot our own horn, but that's how much money we was getting.
I was gonna say that.
True. And the business part about it, if you really want to know, we wanted ownership. So till we had the partnership with Rock Nation, we wasn't gonna sit there and make no LOX album and basically under
the cycle.
terms that work for somebody else and repeat the cycle, because you know that's what the people wanted to see. We always, if you hear his project, you hear his project, my project, you hear the other two on it. You see one thing out, you're gonna see the other two support it, so that wasn't necessarily...
We own the studio together also, so we damn near see each other 4 or 5 times a week.
Yes, sir.
Daily.
He have his career, I have my career. We support each other's careers, we support each other's endeavors. We do endeavors together, and because we give a fuck about each other, because we a brotherhood.
Absolutely.
Our brotherhood is bigger than just providing what the label wants or shortchanging ourselves. Like, we probably would have been fucking arguing all the way up to this year if we would have did a whole nother album, wasn't able to eat off of it, find out how to eat, do this and that, so it wouldn't have made no sense for us. So we did it our way.
Did it right.
We did it our way.
We did what worked for us. Count the list from the people that came in on our draft class.
Word.
They all work at Target.
And look at them.
Yeah, look at
They
them.
look horrible.
They all have no teeth.
So if you guys were to do a versus, who would you do a versus against?
Anybody.
You name them.
You want to do a versus,
They
we'll
keep
do a
asking
versus
us
versus
this.
anybody.
For like 2 weeks straight.
They trying to force
a group.
it.
Yeah.
For one, you gotta find a group that like each other. If we do a versus anybody, the whole group gotta be there or they disqualify or you forfeit. The only exception is we go against Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Pete.
Word.
He
God bless.
Half could come with Noid or anybody. But other than that, don't come with a percentage of the group or you lost off rip.
Word.
You don't even got each other's number only.
Facts.
LOX shit, LOX music.
Fire! Expect fire!
It's evolution of what you already expect from us. You know what I mean? We can't, of course we're not still on the corner selling grams, but we all homeowners doing real estate and juice bars and things of that nature and raising kids and
Word up.
we still getting money. We saying the same thing just from a other side of the desk perspective.
But for now, make sure you go get the L.O.X merch. It'll be out. You'll love it. We got fucking velour, suede, hot shit, lit shit. We got the drip.
We got suede. We ain't got nothing suede. We got sweatsuits, t-shirts, hats, do-rags.
It sound good when you say you got
bandanas.
suede.
We got everything.
And the new album, Living Off Xperience, is out
Fire.
now.
Yeah.
It's us. New York City authentic rap at its finest. It's organic, it's stovetop cooked, it's oven baked, it's simmer sauteed, and basted. Love, get that shit, bro.